Module 4. The Meta Model. Disarming Objections with Precision. Welcome back to Module 4 of our NLP for Sales course. I'm Jessica, and today we're diving into one of the most powerful tools in your sales arsenal, the Meta Model. Let's face it, objections are inevitable in sales. Whether it's, I don't have money, I need to think about it, or it's just not for me, objections can feel like roadblocks. But here's the truth. Objections aren't rejections. They're opportunities. They're your client's way of asking for more clarity, reassurance, or value. In this module, you'll learn how to handle common objections with precision, use language patterns that lead to decision-making, and master the art of reframing to turn objections into opportunities. Let's get started. Strategies to handle common objections. So, let's tackle some of the most common objections you'll encounter and how to respond effectively. Objection number 1, I don't have money. This often isn't about money at all. It's about priorities or perceived value. Here's how to respond. Clarify their priorities. Ask, if budget weren't an issue, would this be something you'd want? Highlight ROI. Say, what if this investment could save you X hours per week or bring you Y dollars in return? Would that change things? By focusing on value rather than cost, you shift the conversation from scarcity to possibility. Objection number 2. I need to think about it. This usually means they're unsure or overwhelmed. Instead of letting them walk away, dig deeper. Ask permission to explore further. Say, of course, take your time. Just so I can help, what specifically do you need to think about? Uncover hidden concerns. Follow up with, is there anything holding you back right now? Often, this reveals the real reason behind their hesitation and gives you a chance to address it directly. Objection number 3. It's too expensive. This objection is rooted in comparison or fear of risk. Here's how to reframe it. Anchor the price in context. Say, compared to what? How does this compare to the value you'll receive? Break it down. For example, that comes out to just X per day. Isn't that worth it for specific benefit? When you frame the cost in terms of benefits, it becomes easier for them to justify the investment. The key here is to stay calm, curious, and solution-focused. Every objection is an invitation to better understand your client's needs and provide answers that align with their goals. Language patterns that lead to decision-making. Now, let's talk about language patterns, the subtle ways you can guide your client toward making a decision without being pushy. These patterns tap into the subconscious mind and create momentum toward yes. Here are 3 powerful language patterns to try. Pattern number 1, presuppositions. These are statements that assume the sale is already happening. For example, when you start using this product, how will it improve your daily routine? Which package works best for you? By assuming commitment, you gently nudge them toward taking action. Pattern number 2, embedded commands. These are directives hidden within larger sentences. For example, you might find yourself wondering how easy it is to get started. Imagine feeling confident, knowing you've made the right choice. The subconscious picks up on these commands, while the conscious mind focuses on the overall message. Pattern number 3, future pacing. This involves painting a vivid picture of success after they've said yes. For example, picture yourself achieving specific result. How does that feel? In 6 months, when you're seeing these results, what will life look like? Future pacing creates excitement and anticipation, making the decision feel natural and inevitable. When used ethically, these patterns help your client move closer to a decision without feeling pressured. It's all about guiding, not forcing. Reframing to transform objections into opportunities.
I'm just not sure this is worth the investment.
That's a great point, and I completely understand why you'd feel that way. Let me ask you this. What would make it worth the investment for you? And how can we ensure you see maximum value? Reframing is the process of shifting your client's perspective from seeing obstacles to recognizing opportunities. Here's how to do it effectively. Acknowledge their concern. Validate their feelings. For example, I hear you, it's important to spend wisely. Ask clarifying questions. Dig deeper to uncover the root cause. For example, what specifically makes you feel unsure? Offer a new perspective. Reframe the objection as a stepping stone to success. For example, actually, this investment could save you time and stress in the long run. Remember, reframing isn't about manipulation. It's about helping your client see possibilities they may not have considered. When done authentically, it builds trust and moves the conversation forward. And there you have it, the power of the meta model. You now know how to handle common objections with precision, use persuasive language patterns to guide decisions, and reframe objections into opportunities. Every objection is a chance to deepen your connection with your client and provide solutions that truly meet their needs. Practice these techniques consistently and watch how much smoother your sales conversations become. In the next module, we'll dive into anchoring emotions, how to associate positive feelings with your offer, and create triggers that close sales. Trust me, this is where psychology meets peak performance. Until then, start paying attention to objections in your own interactions. Use what you've learned today to clarify, reframe, and guide your clients towards saying yes. Module 5. Anchoring emotions. Create positive states during the sale. Welcome back to Module 5 of our NLP for Sales course. I'm Jessica, and today we're diving into one of the most powerful tools in sales psychology, anchoring emotions. Think about it. Why do people buy? Sure, logic plays a role, but at the end of the day, decisions are driven by emotions. When you can associate positive feelings with your offer, you create an irresistible pull that makes saying yes feel natural and even exciting. In this module, you'll learn how to anchor positive emotions to your product or service, use emotional anchors in both face-to-face and online interactions, and create triggers that close sales effortlessly. Let's get started. How to associate positive emotions with your offer. So, what exactly is anchoring? In simple terms, it's the process of linking a specific emotion to a particular stimulus, like your product, your brand, or even your voice. Here's how it works. Step 1. Identify the desired emotion. Ask yourself, what feeling do I want my client to associate with this offer? Is it excitement, relief, confidence, or joy? Step 2. Elicit the emotion. Use storytelling, sensory language, or demonstrations to evoke that emotion. For example, if you're selling luxury skincare, describe the feeling of radiant skin and newfound confidence. Step 3. Anchor the emotion. Pair the peak of that emotional state with a specific trigger, like a gesture, phrase, or visual cue. For instance, when they're feeling excited, say something like, "This is the moment where everything changes." The key here is timing. You need to anchor the emotion at its peak, when your client is fully immersed in the feeling. With repetition, that trigger will automatically evoke the same positive emotion every time, using emotional anchors in face-to-face and online interactions. Now, let's talk about how to use emotional anchors in different contexts, whether you're meeting clients face-to-face or interacting online. Face-to-face anchoring. In person, you have the advantage of nonverbal communication. Here's how to anchor effectively. Use gestures. Touch your chest lightly when talking about trust, or raise your hand slightly when describing excitement. These physical cues become subconscious triggers. Match tone and pace. Speak warmly and enthusiastically when eliciting positive emotions. Your energy sets the tone for the interaction. Create moments. Highlight key features of your product during moments of high engagement, like when they smile, nod, or express interest. Online anchoring. When you're communicating virtually, you'll need to rely more on verbal and visual techniques. Try these strategies. Use visuals strategically. Share images or videos that evoke the desired emotion, like happy customers, testimonials, or before and after transformations. Leverage your voice. Vary your tone, pitch, and pace to match the emotion you're trying to anchor. For example, slow down and soften your voice when discussing comfort or security. Repeat key phrases. Use consistent language that ties your product to the desired emotion. For instance, imagine waking up every morning feeling unstoppable. That's exactly what this product does for you. No matter the medium, the goal is the same. Create a strong emotional connection between your client and your offer. When they think of your product, they should immediately feel those positive emotions. Creating emotional triggers that close sales. All right, now let's talk about creating emotional triggers that lead to closing sales. These are specific cues, words, actions, or visuals that instantly remind your client of the positive emotions tied to your offer. Here's how to do it. Develop a signature phrase. Choose a memorable line that encapsulates the value of your product. For example, "This is where transformation begins," or "Feel the difference today." Repeat it consistently throughout your pitch. Use storytelling. Share a story of someone who achieved success with your product. Describe their journey in vivid detail, the struggles, the breakthroughs, and the ultimate triumph. Then tie it back to your client. That could be you. Create a visual anchor. If possible, use a logo, color scheme, or image that represents the emotion you're anchoring. For instance, if you're selling relaxation products, use calming blues and serene imagery. Reinforce the trigger. Every time you mention the benefit, pair it with your chosen cue. Over time, that cue will automatically evoke the associated emotion. For example, imagine you're selling a productivity app. You might say, "Every time you open this app, you'll feel empowered to take control of your day." Now, every time they see the app icon, they'll subconsciously associate it with empowerment. And there you have it, the power of anchoring emotions. You now know how to associate positive feelings with your offer, use emotional anchors in face-to-face and online interactions, and create triggers that make closing sales feel effortless. Remember, emotions are the driving force behind every decision. When you master the art of anchoring, you transform your product from a mere item into an experience your client can't wait to embrace. In the next module, we'll explore hypnotic language patterns, how to influence without manipulation, and craft persuasive scripts for landing pages, emails, and outreach. Trust me, this is where words become magic. Until then, practice creating emotional anchors in your daily interactions. Start tying positive emotions to your offers and watch how quickly your clients respond. Module 6. Conscious and Subconscious Selling. Hypnotic Language Patterns. Welcome back to Module 6 of our NLP for Sales course. I'm Jessica, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of hypnotic language patterns, the art of influencing both the conscious and subconscious mind. Now, before you think this is about manipulation or mind control, let me clarify something. Hypnotic language is not about tricking people into buying. It's about crafting messages so persuasive that your clients feel empowered to make decisions that align with their own desires. In this module, you'll learn how to use hypnotic language for landing pages and outreach scripts, master indirect language and suggestion techniques, and influence without crossing ethical boundaries. Let's get started! Hypnotic language for landing pages and outreach scripts. Hypnotic language works because it bypasses resistance and speaks directly to the subconscious mind, the part of the brain that makes most purchasing decisions. Here's how to use it effectively. Step 1. Use power words that spark imagination. Words like imagine, discover, feel, and transform create vivid mental pictures and evoke emotions. For example, imagine waking up every morning feeling unstoppable. Discover the secret to effortless productivity. Step 2. Leverage storytelling. Stories are inherently hypnotic because they engage the listener's imagination. Instead of listing features, describe how someone just like your client achieved success with your product. Step 3. Incorporate embedded commands. Embed commands within larger sentences to subtly guide action. For example, as you scroll down, you might find yourself wondering how easy it is to get started. While you're thinking about it, picture yourself achieving a specific result. On landing pages, use these techniques in headlines, subheadings, and call to action buttons. For outreach scripts, weave them into emails, text messages, or phone calls. The goal is to make your message flow naturally while planting seeds of desire. Indirect language and suggestion techniques. Now, let's talk about indirect language, a cornerstone of hypnotic communication. Unlike direct statements, which can trigger resistance, indirect language feels conversational and non-threatening. Here are 3 powerful techniques to try. Technique number 1. Presuppositions. These are assumptions embedded in your language. For example, when you start using this product, how will it improve your daily routine? Which package works best for you? Presuppositions assume the sale is already happening, making it easier for your client to visualize themselves taking action. Technique number 2. Tag questions. Add a question at the end of a statement to soften its impact. For example, this solution could really save you time, couldn't it? You'd agree that investing in quality pays off, wouldn't you? Tag questions reduce defensiveness while reinforcing your point. Technique number 3, double binds. Offer 2 options, both leading to the desired outcome. For example, would you prefer to start with the basic plan or go all in with the premium option? Shall we schedule your consultation now or later today? Double binds give your client a sense of control while guiding them toward commitment. The beauty of indirect language is that it feels natural and conversational. Your client won't feel pushed, they'll simply feel guided toward the right decision. How to influence without manipulation.
I'm still not sure if this is the right choice for me.
That's completely understandable. It's important to make the right decision. Let me ask you this. What would make this feel like the perfect fit for you? And how can we ensure you see maximum value? Influence without manipulation comes down to one thing: integrity. You must genuinely believe in the value of what you're offering and focus on helping your client achieve their goals, not just closing the sale. Here are 3 principles to keep in mind. Be authentic. Speak from the heart and stay true to your values. People can sense insincerity from miles away. Focus on benefits, not tactics. Always tie your language back to how your product solves their problem or fulfills their desire. Respect their autonomy. Give them space to decide. Hypnotic language should guide, not coerce. When done ethically, hypnotic language enhances trust and connection. It's not about controlling. It's about empowering your client to make a decision they'll feel great about. And there you have it, the power of hypnotic language patterns. You now know how to craft persuasive copy for landing pages and outreach scripts, use indirect language and suggestion techniques, and influence without compromising ethics. Remember, words have immense power. When used thoughtfully, they can inspire, motivate, and transform. Start incorporating these techniques into your messaging and watch how much smoother your sales conversations become. In the next module, we'll explore advanced closing techniques, how to replace resistance with desire, project future benefits, and overcome limiting beliefs. Trust me, this is where you'll learn to seal the deal with confidence. Until then, practice weaving hypnotic language into your daily interactions. Pay attention to how it influences the way people respond. And remember, always lead with integrity. See you in Module 7!